Have you ever felt like everyone's telling you how to live your life, but no one really knows what's best for you? It's like everyone's got their opinions, but none of it really clicks. Maybe the missing piece is being alone for a while. Sounds a bit wild, right? But here's the thing. Everyone loves to say, don't isolate yourself. But what if the solitude you're avoiding is exactly what you need to reconnect with Allah and find your peace? What if being alone is the key to understanding your true purpose? If you're here to just catch a few quick tips and move on, I'm going to be honest. It won't work. But if you're ready to change your life, take a moment. Put everything aside and give this video your full attention. Watch until the very end, because who knows? The right word might hit you on a deeper level than you expected. And trust me, this isn't something you want to miss. Solitude allows you to reconnect with yourself. In the rush of daily life, whether it's school, work, or trying to keep up with everything happening on social media, it's easy to lose track of who you really are. Everyone's constantly pulling you in different directions, giving you advice, telling you what to do, and suddenly, you can't even remember what you actually want or need. That's where solitude comes in. It's not about running away from life. It's about creating space for yourself to think, reflect, and just breathe. When you're alone, you can stop worrying about what others think. Stop chasing external validation and start tuning in to what truly matters to you. You might even catch yourself thinking, wait, I haven't felt this at peace in a long time. The noise stops, and you finally hear your own thoughts again. It's in those quiet moments that you can reconnect with your purpose. You can ask yourself, what am I doing with my time? What really matters to me? In a world that constantly pushes us to be someone we're not, solitude is the time you get to be yourself, the real, unfiltered version that Allah created. When you take the time to be alone, to reflect, and to realign with your intentions, you start making better decisions, not because of what others expect of you, but because you understand your own heart and soul more clearly. And that's how you grow. You can't truly know where you're going until you take a step back and see where you've been and where you want to go. Solitude clears the clutter in your mind. In the middle of the chaos that is everyday life, it's easy to find yourself overwhelmed with a million things running through your mind, whether it's keeping up with deadlines, juggling responsibilities, or just trying to fit in with the expectations around you. It often feels like your brain is cluttered, unable to focus on what really matters. It's like trying to work in a room full of noise. It's hard to hear yourself think, but when you step away and spend some time alone, something shifts. The constant noise quiets down, and for the first time, you can actually hear your own thoughts. It's like taking a breath of fresh air after being suffocated in chaos. In solitude, you give yourself permission to process your thoughts, clear your mind, and finally make sense of everything that's been clouding your judgment. It's in these moments of peace that you start to reconnect with what truly matters, your faith, your goals, your inner peace. When you silence the distractions, you can hear the guidance Allah has already placed in your heart. You begin to realize that you don't need all the external noise to find clarity. You just need to listen to the stillness inside you. The wisdom behind isolation. Let's be real. Feeling isolated isn't easy. It's uncomfortable, and it can even make you question yourself. Why are people drifting away? Why do you feel like you're being left out of certain spaces? It can be frustrating and lonely, especially when you're trying to find your place in the world. But what if, just maybe, Allah is protecting you in those moments? What if this feeling of isolation isn't something to fear, but something that's actually guiding you toward something greater? Sometimes the greatest blessings in our lives come disguised as trials we don't fully understand at first. Think about it. Sometimes we get so caught up in the distractions of society, trying to keep up with everyone else, that we forget to listen to our own hearts. The people around us, the noise, the trends, they can all pull us away from our true purpose. But when you're alone, when you're cut off from all those distractions, that's when you truly have the space to grow, reflect, and reconnect with Allah. Allah, in His wisdom, knows exactly what we need. Sometimes, the isolation is a blessing in disguise. It gives us time to pause, to listen, and to turn back to Him without any external noise. This solitude is a space where we can reconnect with our faith, renew our intentions, and remember why we're here in the first place. A test to strengthen your patience. Let's be honest, being alone isn't always easy, and it certainly isn't always comfortable. Whether it's the loneliness that comes with solitude or the silence that leaves room for your thoughts to roam, you might find yourself getting frustrated, restless, or even questioning why you're going through this phase. It's a test that can push your patience in ways you might not expect. But here's the truth. These moments, though tough, are exactly what you need to strengthen your patience. When you're alone, life can feel like it's dragging, and the struggle to keep going can make everything feel heavier. But this is precisely the test that Allah uses to help us grow. It's not about just enduring discomfort. It's about learning to hold on to your faith, to resist the urges to complain, and to stay patient while trusting in Allah's plan. Sometimes, we can't understand why things aren't moving faster, or why we're being isolated in this way. But Allah knows that these trials are opportunities for us to build resilience, patience, and a deeper trust in Him. The key to patience during these times isn't just about keeping quiet or enduring in silence. It's about the strength that comes with maintaining your composure, controlling your thoughts, and staying grounded in your faith. Even when everything around you feels uncertain or disconnected, remembering that Allah is always with you, guiding, supporting, and strengthening you, helps you to navigate these times with a heart full of patience. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Whoever is patient, Allah will give him patience, and no one is given a better or more abundant gift than patience." When you practice patience, you're not just enduring a test. You're building spiritual strength, trusting Allah's timing, and learning to accept His wisdom even when things don't make sense. So embrace this time alone, because it's not a punishment. It's a blessing in disguise, helping you grow and become more resilient in your faith. The best time for reflection. There's something powerful about being alone. It gives you the space to really think about your life, your actions, and your intentions. How often do we actually take a step back and ask ourselves, what am I really doing with my time? Most of the time, we're so caught up in the busyness of life that we don't stop to reflect. But when you're alone, away from all the distractions, you have the chance to look at your daily routine and ask yourself some tough questions. Think about this for a second. What if today was the day you had to answer to Allah for everything you've done? Imagine standing before Allah on the day of judgment, when everything you did, whether good or bad, will be laid out in front of you. How would you answer for how you spent your time, for the moments you wasted, for the good deeds you could have done but didn't? The truth is, we'll all be asked about how we spent our lives, and no one can escape that moment of truth. It's not just about the big acts of worship like prayer and fasting. It's about our everyday actions, how we treated others, how we used our time, and whether we lived in alignment with Allah's guidance. Being alone gives you the perfect opportunity to reflect on these things. You can think about how much good you've done, and yes, how much you've fallen short. It's not about beating yourself up or getting discouraged. It's about understanding where you are on your journey and realizing that Allah's mercy is always there for those who seek it. When you're alone, there's no one to distract you from the truth. You can look at your life, admit where you've gone wrong, and take the steps to improve. It's a chance to renew your intention, to focus on what really matters, and to make the changes necessary to live a life that will be pleasing to Allah. Understanding the balance between solitude and unity. There's no denying that isolation can sometimes feel like loneliness. It's easy to confuse the two. When you spend time alone, it can sometimes lead to feelings of isolation, feeling disconnected from others, or even questioning whether you're doing something wrong by not being around people. But here's the truth. Isolation in this context isn't about pushing people away or cutting yourself off from the community. It's about taking the time you need to reconnect with yourself, reflect on your actions, and strengthen your relationship with Allah. Islam places a strong emphasis on unity, on the strength we gain as an ummah when we come together in worship, support, and brotherhood. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "The example of the believers in their mutual love, mercy, and compassion is like that of a body. When one part of the body suffers, the whole body suffers." This hadith clearly shows how important unity is. We are stronger when we're together, supporting each other through life's trials. But what we must understand is that there's a time for everything. While unity and togetherness are essential for the ummah, so is taking time to be alone, to reflect, and to grow spiritually. It's during these moments of solitude that you gain clarity, understanding, and the strength to reconnect with the community in a healthier way. Being alone isn't a rejection of the ummah. It's an opportunity to come back to it with a renewed spirit, a clearer mind, and a stronger faith. When you take that time to reflect, you're preparing yourself to better contribute to the collective well-being of the Muslim community. You're finding peace within yourself so that you can share it with others. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And hold fast, all of you together, to the rope of Allah, and do not separate." This verse emphasizes the importance of unity, but it also implicitly acknowledges that personal strength and clarity come from nurturing our own connection with Allah. It's about finding a balance. Yes, be part of the ummah, support each other, but also take the time to be alone when needed, to recharge spiritually and mentally. So the next time you find yourself alone, remember, it's not isolation in the negative sense. It's a time for growth, renewal, and self-reflection. And when you return to the community, you'll return stronger, more focused, and more ready to contribute to the ummah as a whole. My dear brothers and sisters, as we've explored together, solitude isn't a curse. It's an opportunity for growth, reflection, and strengthening your relationship with Allah. While the world pulls us in every direction, the quiet moments alone allow us to reconnect with our true purpose. It's in those moments of solitude that we find clarity, renew our intentions, and prepare ourselves to serve the community with a stronger spirit. But remember, solitude doesn't mean isolation in the negative sense. Islam teaches us the importance of unity within the ummah, of standing together, supporting one another, and growing collectively. At the same time, we must understand that personal reflection and time alone help us build the strength and clarity we need to return to the community stronger, more focused, and with renewed faith. If you've felt the pull to be alone and reflect, embrace it. Use that time to grow closer to Allah, to reflect on your actions, and to prepare yourself for a life that aligns with your faith. The more you connect with yourself, the more you'll be able to contribute to the ummah in meaningful, powerful ways. If this message resonated with you, comment, "Ya Allah, guide me," below. Your words might inspire someone else to reflect and find their own peace in solitude. And don't forget, liking and subscribing helps us keep sharing reminders that bring us closer to Allah. May Allah guide you, protect your heart, and keep you steadfast on this journey. Ameen.